spring more than what you did last year. How beneficial is that for you this spring as you continue to develop?
Very beneficial, and it feels great. You know, last spring I was rehabbing. I was rehabbing the whole summer too. So to be able to have a full off season of winter workouts, of spring ball, of summer workouts, it's huge. You know, and spring ball, that's what it's for. It's to get better. It's for technique and fundamentals. And you know, I feel very confident in our room. We got a lot of experience coming back. You know, I had started all 12 games last year, so did Jalen Thompson, Quindarius Dunnigan. He's a huge part of the room, you know, as is Ruquan Buckley, Ben Roberts, Jalen Satchel. We brought in Grady Kelly in the portal, who seems to be a really, really good piece and what we're looking for in our room. So.
What ways do you feel that you're better than maybe you were?
Yeah.
What would you like to build upon?
Yeah. Well, we're trying to get better at everything. We felt.
You specifically, what do you feel like?
I felt really good stopping the run last year. First and second down, really good. Getting to the quarterback's the biggest thing. You know, just working on that. And just overall knowledge of the game, you know. As far as the X's and O's go, it's the second year in the system now. So it's not just knowing what I know, it's where my help comes from. You know, what does the safety have, so that can allow me to play faster.
You had a really strong game against Purdue late in the year. Did that feel good that you kind of ended the season?
Yeah. Every week you're trying to get better, and I feel like I got better every week as it went on too. And I'm looking just to, you know, build off that.
You got some pullback in you like your brother?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Runs in the family a little bit. Yeah.
Last year, everybody's confident all the time going into any season, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's ever comes in August and says, "I don't feel great about this." I'm wondering, like, how you feel today about the program overall and the state of the team as opposed to a year ago, and what would you tell like fans in terms of this is why I think we'll be more competitive and better?
I mean, it's the second year in the system, you know. We've been grinding our tails off all off season, and we all know, like I said with him, you know, it's not just about knowing our job, but you know where the help comes from, and we're preparing every single day for the first game. I'm very confident, as is everyone in the building, because if you weren't confident, you know, they wouldn't be here. So we're trying to win every game on our schedule. That's the goal, but you got to do that in increments. And right now, we're at the tail end of spring ball. Well, then we'll go into summer workouts. So we're really just trying to win each day.
Were there any lessons you take from last year that were?
Definitely. A lot of lessons. Really just, you know, football, it can help you build as a man too, character. You know, we didn't have the season we wanted to have, you know, as a team record-wise. That's something that we're going to improve this year. And we're confident in that.
You have a real sense, I mean, having gone through the Big Ten with this group and this staff, you have a better sense of what's in front of you?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, like I told him, we still got a lot of players that have played a lot of snaps in Big Ten ball. We got some guys that haven't, but at the end of the day, football is football. If you can play, you can play. So.
Just talk about the defensive line chemistry aspect. You talked about guys being in the second year. I imagine that there's a lot less thinking. You guys are kind of
totally. Yeah.
Is that noticeable this spring?
It is, and that just helps too with our pass rush. You know, if I got, you know, JT to my side and, you know, he wants me to cover him, I can just get a feel for it. You know, I know his type of rushes. I know what he likes to do, and we can play off each other, and we can work certain type of games. Yeah.
Is it a trust thing too, where it's not, you know, you're not thinking if a guy behind you is going to do his job, you just know he's going to do it?
Yeah. I mean, and you build that trust through the whole off season, you know, through practice, through going to war with them in practice, lining up next to them in the workouts, you know, going through the tough runs. That's when you really build the trust. The trust should already be built. You can't build it in the season. It should already be built in the off season, and that's what we're doing right now.
And you talk about growing as a human being, as a man. Is part of that, you know, taking pride in the fact that you guys got knocked out a lot, but you just kept on swinging?
Yeah.
You
you keep swinging every single time. A man falls down 7 times, you get up 8. That's the way I was raised, and that's Spartan dog. You know, that's a Spartan dog way. That's why I love this place. So.
You got a Super Bowl champ in the family now?
I do, man.
How exciting was that?
Man, it was great. It was really special. You know, I didn't know how special it would be but to be able to be on the field with, Ben after, and, my parents were there, and there's a feeling I'll never forget. And now I'm trying to go get that, I'm trying to go get myself one, but I got to take it one day at a time.
I guess learn during this process, but also not overextend yourself.
Right. Well, like I said earlier, it's huge to have the whole offseason. Like, I didn't have offseason last year. I was rehabbing, So to have this offseason, to have all the workouts, to be able to really hone in on my game and not focus on getting a part of my body healthy again, I'm ready to take it to the next level. And I think I'm gonna do that.
On the other side, kind of had a similar thing where he went He kind of picked your brain on how to do it.
Me, Stanton Ramil, Cole Dellinger, Gavin Brocious, we were all in the training room at the same time, so we grew really close to each other. We were doing all the same workouts in the weight room while everyone else was practicing, so we definitely lean on each other and pick each other's brains and get motivation, because especially late in the season, there's guys that aren't able to practice because they're hurt, and just to have that in the back of your mind, like, this can get taken away from you at any time.
That'd be actually, in some ways, like seeing like one guy after another leave that room and finally get back.
Oh, totally. Like I said, for me, I'm super grateful for my experience. Like, I came back a better player, and I was really confident, especially to come back and to win the job, and to do well. That's something that Cole can definitely see that and find motivation in. As I did, I had other people too.
What is Grady Kelly brought to this room?
Well, first of all, he's a really good teammate, and he's just a great dude. That's what we were looking for, to bring someone in that matches the energy and the vibe of, we want tough, hard-nosed guys that are gonna work hard, and he definitely brings that to the table.
Now that 2 years, year plus into this transition,
Well, we're in the building with these guys every day, It's like when you go to work, you have your coworkers, you have your boss, you continue, like, them as time goes on. And we have a really big trust in Coach Smith and Coach Rossi. As you guys saw last year, our defense can be really good, and we're confident in that, and we're ready to take the next step.
More detail-oriented? I mean, are you able to do different layers of different plays, or are you able to get more?
Oh, yeah, there's definitely a second year in the system. There's new wrinkles involved in the defense. Last year we were installing it, for the first time. This year, guys are on, we were here last year, now we're here. And we're trying to build, and we're confident in it.
And for those younger guys coming in, obviously last year was just everyone was doing it at the same time. Now is it more on you older guys to take them along and kind of teach them?
Somewhat. I had guys take me under their wing. Jacob Slade was definitely one that I owe a lot to. But at the same time, they got to catch up to the pace. We're not going to slow down the room, for somebody that's getting here. They got to catch up to the pace, and we'll help them do that.
Last year, trust in players who stayed.
Yeah.
So if these guys didn't recruit you, but they had to re-recruit you.
Right.
What kind of things did you learn about that?
Yeah.
Kept you here?
Well, I think everyone who stayed, speaking for me, I stayed because I see the vision, with Coach Smith that he has. I think he has done a phenomenal job. Just getting the guys to buy into the process, because that's the biggest thing. If you're not bought in, you're not gonna win games, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to win football games. We're trying to be the best football team we can be, and people see the vision, And for the guys that stayed, you got to have some, in college football these days, guys are hopping around to a bunch of schools. You got to have pride in your school. I have pride in the university and the people here, pride in the degree, stuff like that. And especially for the new guys, I've been trying to teach them stuff, just about the place in general,
So it feels like this program is building, right? The guys are getting in the ring again. You're building forward. You're an older guy. I'm curious, why stay in a program like this that's still building towards something versus, like a corollary, you can just go and try to join a team that's going to be a championship. Why stay here? What about this place?
Because I have pride in this place. I'm from Michigan. I'm from the state. This is Big Ten hard-nosed football, It goes back to Coach D, We're just trying to continue to carry that on, and the legacy that he had.